Welcome to Last Time Online. This episode is brought to you by Dogmu Games, my very own game studio. I'm currently working on my first game called Wake Out of Twilight. Wake Out of Twilight is a 2D platformer game based in a futuristic dystopia where nearly all parts of life are automated. Life couldn't get any easier, but the price to pay was more than anybody agreed to. Navigate through traps, obstacles, and puzzles in order to save everybody from the nightmare. If you would like to be the first to know when I have updates or when the game is releasing, you can go to Steam and wishlist the game. Now, let's get on with the episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Last Time Online, the show where a bunch of nerds talk about nerdy things. This is us. My name is George. I am a video game developer, or indie video game developer, and then we've kind of gotten this whole crew of gamers together that we kind of just talk about nerdy things, like I said. Today we're joined by Luis.
Hello there.
Perfect branding. That's foreshadowing, viewers. And Max is here with us today.
Hey, yo. Rest in peace, Scott Hall.
Oh, yes.
And I had a toothpick. I'd flick it at the camera right now, but I don't have one.
And also we have Alvaro with us.
How's it going?
Small squad today, but it's because we have a lot of we have a busy week this week, so we'll see how long this goes, but I think we're pretty passionate about the topic this week. But we like to talk about, starting off this podcast, we like to bring up the things that we've been working on for the past week, things that have been taking up our time, and things that might be interesting to you guys at home. Like I said, I'm an indie game developer, and I've been working on my game, and I'm pretty fond of it, and I'm ready to talk about it a lot now during this podcast. I haven't brought it up too much in the past, but I have a game called Wake Out of Twilight, and my studio is called Dogma Games, and it's been really cool working on it, and I am pretty passionate about it. And like I said, I'm pretty excited because I'm actually finishing up some of the last levels in the game. So, for the folks here that have actually known about it, I'm actually getting pretty close to being done. So that's pretty exciting. I've been kind of more excited about posting online and social media, and I can't wait till it releases. So who wants to go next? How about you, Alvaro? What have you been working on this week?
I'm still grinding through Elden Ring and Gran Turismo. They're going to take about so much time. I'm anticipating Ghostwire Tokyo. Hopefully that turns out well. It looks pretty cool from, the art style. Like, I never played Evil Within 1 or 2, but it's the same studio that made that, so hopefully it holds up. And I also watched Turning Red, which I enjoyed a lot. Hopefully more people see it. I wish I could have seen it in the theater.
You said that you barely brought it up when I was talking about Ghostwire Tokyo in the last episode. Like, I didn't realize that you were that interested in it. I thought you made me feel all alone the last episode. do you like when I went back and listened the last episode, I was like, man, I guess these guys really don't want to watch play Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm like over here nerding
Just there's
out.
so much else to play right now, though. It's like I'm not gonna
True.
finish Elden Ring or GT goes on forever, so I'm not gonna finish either of those before it comes out. But I'll dip my toe in here and there.
Yeah, I look forward to playing that and talking about that. But yeah, very cool. What about you, Luis? Anything new this week, or what have you been working on or playing?
Still working on Horizon Forbidden West. Made significant progress in the story. A lot of stuff. Gaining a lot of levels and grinding through the quests. And mostly watching movies too.
Mm-hmm.
Been watching Kick-Ass, which I think it's a real underrated movie. People real forgotten about it. But yeah, it's real great.
Are you the type of player that are you going through the story quests, or are you like grinding side quests? Are you enjoying the open world? Like, how's your...
A little bit of everything. Whatever I come across, I try to complete that first. So yeah, I go zone by zone.
Very nice. How about you, Max?
For me, not a whole lot in the gaming. Been playing a bunch of Fall Guys to try and get my ranking up since they had the double XP the past few days. So
great.
I'm almost capped out, but I did it.
Nice.
I also watched the movie The Tender Bar, which is a movie on Prime. It's a movie that George Clooney directed with Ben Affleck, and it's pretty much a kid. It's just a story, adult's memoir of how he grew up with his uncle, who ran this bar. It was all right. Ben Affleck was good, so I liked it for that, but I don't think it's anything that anyone needs to go out of their way to watch. But if you like Ben Affleck, check it out. It was good. And then other than that, I'll also plug George's game because I got to play a few of the demos and stuff and making really good progress. And it's a very intriguing game and it's really fun.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited. That's why I've been like, that's why I decided to bring it up this week because I've been just like grinding through it because like the end is it's like right there. It's right there. I'm like so close to being like finished with like the so they say like it takes like half your time to finish like 90% of the game, and to me like 90% of the game is like having it all basically done, and I just need to like touch it up in places, but like I'm almost at that point where it's almost just like done, and I'll have to just polish it everywhere, and then I'll probably just like be sending you guys a bunch of builds or something like that if you guys want to play it.
I've liked what I've played so far. Very good. Very fun.
Thank you. Shameless plug. Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you.
That's why we're here.
So, I know the real reason that we're all here is to talk about Obi Wan Kenobi. And just to give the listeners at home some context, everyone here is very passionate about Star Wars. And so, it hurts us when Star Wars is bad, and it joys us so much when Star Wars is good, or at least seems like it's going to be good. Look at this. Yeah, my man. I wish I had a Star Wars prop around me.
You can bust out the lightsaber, but it's in the closet.
Right, like right there.
There you go.
Yes. Well, so I brought up the Obi Wan Kenobi, or I don't know if I actually did already, but we were going to talk about the Obi Wan Kenobi trailer. But I think I don't know, where should we start with this Star Wars topic? Should we talk about Obi Wan Kenobi like straight off, or like what we've been feeling with Star Wars as a whole? Like, I mean, Boba Fett just finished. We haven't really talked about that on this podcast yet. What do you? I guess they kind of can go together. Like, I'll start off by saying Boba Fett really disappointed me, and I think there was. And I think I'm like one of the only ones here that actually kind of liked the last episode. But I'll admit that I think that was because my standards just lowered the whole time I was watching the show. Until I got to the last episode, I was like, yay, this was kind of cool. Actually, the two Mandalorian episodes were really cool. But I think everyone's in agreement on that those were like really good episodes. Yeah. But the final episode, I still feel like I enjoyed it enough. So, but again, because my standards were probably so low. But how about we start there? Like, how did we feel about the Boba Fett show?
I was not a fan.
Do we need to talk about spoilers? It's okay to spoil at this point.
I don't know. Right? It's been over, right? It's been.
I'll put the spoiler tag in the title so they'll know, and I'll put it in the description also.
I mean, I haven't spoiled anything yet, so listeners, be warned that we are going to talk about Boba Fett spoilers in this episode. So, yeah, okay, so let's continue. Like, I forgot who was talking. Oh yeah, Max, you said you weren't a fan.
Yeah, I was not a fan
of any of it.
No, like, I was open to it, but I'm at the point where I would like Star Wars to continue going forward, as opposed to revisiting the past. Like, he's alive, so we know that he escaped the Sarlacc pit. I didn't have to watch it to know that he crawled out, because that's really the only way he could have gotten out of there. But it's just a lot of stuff like that, and I am tired of looking at Tatooine and anything. They need to go somewhere different. That's why I like what I liked from Mandalorian, is because they seem to be exploring more of the Star Wars universe, the other planets, other characters, stuff like that. This one just went back to the original trilogy. Like, they found a way to put Luke in it for no reason. And yeah, I just want them to move forward, and it seemed to not really have much of a story, which is why I think they had to do 2 of the 6 episodes on Mando and what he was doing.
Yeah. You also just reminded me of something else too, but I'll come back to that when we finish.
But yeah, I just wasn't a big fan of it. And then the finale, I enjoyed it up until a point. And I guess we're doing spoilers here. So when the I already forgot the name.
Or
The what?
the Rancor.
The
Yes,
Rancor.
when the huge Rancor came out, I was done. I would have stopped it if I could, because, and I've told you guys this in private, but I know that they only did this entire show because either Jon Favreau or Robert Rodriguez, when they were 8 years old, put a Boba Fett toy on the Rancor and said "rawr" a bunch of times and thought it would look cool. So I feel like they took that idea and built a show with really no story around that whole concept.
His childhood dream.
You have a point, because without him coming out riding that Rancor, it's almost like Boba Fett, the star of the show. It's almost like he accomplished like hardly anything, during the whole show, other than like just like fight off. Like you don't even know who the bad dude is, but he
And then
learned how to ride the Rancor.
Yeah, and then my last thought, and I'll let someone else talk, is that by putting Grogu in it already, they've kind of removed whatever was emotional about the end of The Mandalorian. Because if you're going to watch it from the start, you know that they're just going to meet up again in 5 episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
End of speech.
How about you, Lewis?
And communication.
I think Lewis has also like a different a specific perspective on Boba Fett too, but I'll let you speak now.
I think that the Mandalorian, like in being in the Book of Boba Fett, like pretty much like stole like his Boba's thunder in the show. Even though he had like his good moments into it, with like the stories with the Tuskens and stuff with like Fennec Shand. I think like just like putting Mando in there just like shocked people and like, oh, I like this now. It's like
now.
Yeah. I mean, it got better overall, but until he brought Mando, it got like a little bit better. And then he just really stole the show. And then when they started teaming up at the end, it was just pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought that was awesome. Yes. I think that's
I liked watching them fly around and stuff together. That was cool. But again, that was in the first half that I liked before the Rancor came out.
How about you, Alvaro? Oh, sorry. Continue.
Also, when they brought back Cad Bane into the show, I was just, I didn't think that was gonna happen. So I was like, wow. It's like he's one of my favorite bounty hunters. So, yeah.
And that's the perspective that I thought you were gonna go, that you were gonna talk about, because I also like Cad Bane too. I didn't know. I'm not sure if I would be like a super fan or anything like that, but I do know that like he's probably like a main character of Star Wars in my opinion. So.
But I mean, he wasn't really in it enough to talk about it a whole lot. Like I think he only had like 3 or 4 scenes, and then they were done with him.
Pretty much,
yeah. I mean, I can still keep going on, but I want to make sure everyone speaks first.
Yeah.
so Alvaro, like any thoughts on Boba Fett?
I'm actually not that big of a fan of Star Wars overall. I just like it for the
out.
communal aspect. The communal aspect is really funny. Just watching all the memes and stuff like that. That's always entertaining. As far as, Boba Fett, the character themselves, it's like, even as in their own show, you're still a jobber. So that's unfortunate for him, but that's always how he's been known. And even Fennec Shand, like, I wish he could have gotten more screen time. I think the fucking Darksaber has more development than some of these characters.
Oh damn, that's I think you just created the title of the show right there. I think this episode is gonna be called "Why the Darksaber is more interesting than Fennec."
Yeah, it has more character development than some of these characters.
Wow,
we did it.
That might be the title right there.
No, that will be the title.
Holy
not maybe.
shit. So yeah, so I forgot what I was gonna say already, but like I with Cad Bane, I watched Clone Wars enough to know that Cad Bane is like just a badass character, to the point where, in my opinion, I thought he was like an immortal character at this point, because like he went through so much shit in the Clone Wars, and he just like proved that he was like a badass, just like Survivor. He was gritty, and so when they killed him in Boba Fett, and to be fair, I don't actually think he's dead. I think he's gonna come back. I think they try to hint at it a little bit subtly. I think they try to make it seem like he was still alive. But even assuming that he's gonna come back, like to this show specifically, they made it seem like he's dying, like he's dead, like Boba Fett defeated him. And to me, I feel like Boba Fett didn't deserve to beat him, you know, because like Boba Fett didn't show like he was really badass at all in this show, you know, like, until he started riding the Rancor. But
Yeah. Oh god. Okay.
I mean, yeah. So that's my thoughts about it on that. Like I was gonna speak about something else too that I totally forgot about, but maybe I'll come back to it. But yeah, like Cad Bane like shouldn't have died in my opinion. Boba Fett doesn't seem like the badass character that everyone thought he was in this show.
No, he was not.
Soft in this the show.
Yeah.
The normal.
Now, so like yeah, in my mind to make Boba Fett badass, like I'm like speculating on like what his master plan is and stuff, but that doesn't defend that's not a good defense for like this show, like just totally softening up like Boba Fett. And I've heard somebody make the argument that when they made the Mandalorian show, they kind of accidentally made who everyone thought Boba Fett was, so they couldn't just like make the same character twice. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's a thing, but if that's the case, then like why even make the show? Why did Boba Fett have to happen?
Because he looks cool as a toy.
Because they're running out of content for.
No,
for
yeah,
Disney
I mean
Plus.
that's really I think the reason, like that's why so many people like him. Like he didn't really do much in the original trilogy.
No.
Like
Yeah.
I think
Yet
he only has a couple lines I think in the two movies that he's in, but like he looks very cool.
Yeah.
And with all that, he still has like a cult following.
Yeah,
Like everyone just
Disney.
His backstory
Disney
is
loves
basically
selling
fan
those.
fiction.
Yeah, Disney loves selling those
Yeah.
toys.
I feel like Disney said to LucasArts, is that who it's called that does the shows?
Lucasfilm.
Lucasfilm. I
Lucasfilm.
feel like Disney went to Lucasfilm's like, hey, you turn in your homework by this date. we need something from you to put on Disney Plus. And they're like, how about Boba Fett? And they're like, here's the money, you got it.
Yeah, there you go. He looks cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna sell a bunch of toys.
Yeah, Lucasfilm has to do their I don't know bi-yearly homework or something like that.
Yeah, but I will say one thing that I did like. He's not in it very much, but I do love Timothy Olyphant's character, Cobb Vanth.
Yeah.
Just because he's essentially playing the space version of his character from Justified, which is a great show.
Oh, that show looks cool. It looks cool.
He's essentially playing space Raylan Givens, and it's great.
I mean, I won't watch it, but
You should
like,
watch it.
It has like
You
the
should
Boba
watch
Fett
it.
effect, right? Like I could just look at it and I can be like, that looks like a cool show. I just
Yeah.
won't watch it. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to say was that you know, with the Mando episodes, with the Mandalorian episodes that were in the Boba Fett series, I was wondering how the Mandalorian was going to continue without their main character being Grogu, you know, because everyone knows that they were watching it for the baby Yoda, aka Grogu.
You don't have to worry anymore.
Yep, you don't have to worry. He's back. The main character, he came out of retirement, and he's back in Mando's ship in the little capsule pod that's meant for drones. Poor guy. That was another thing too. Like before they brought Grogu back, when they gave the Mandalorian the speeder, I was like, oh, for sure Grogu's not coming back because he can't fit anywhere in that pod, right? But
Yeah.
Nope, they brought him back.
They found a way. They found a way.
Okay, so we could go straight into the Obi Wan Kenobi trailer if no one's got anything else to say about Boba Fett.
I made my peace.
Yep.
Yeah. It sounds like we kind of all think it's basically just it was not even meh, huh? It was like kind of less than meh, like the Boba Fett, all in all. So that brings us to the Obi Wan Kenobi trailer, which I thought was cool as hell, and that's all I'll say about it right now. But what does everyone else think about the Obi Wan Kenobi trailer? I know, Max, you said that you were slightly disappointed when you thought it was just going to be all in sand again, but it's not.
No, well, I mean, they started off with Tatooine, and then they had to show little tiny Luke, and then I did this, but then they started to show there's gonna
to the listeners with no visual cue, like he's basically giving the biggest eye roll right now,
Yeah,
like hands
mean,
up in the air. But yeah, just to let everyone know. But yeah,
I will be all for it for the Luke thing if they find a way to like de-age Mark Hamill even more to look like a child. Then I'll be all for it. But yeah, they just had Tatooine, and then I rolled my eyes. But then it looked like there's actually going to be different locations in the show. Like you saw the like interior of ships and stuff like that, and it looks like some of the stuff might be on a different planet. So that gave me hope. But I am looking forward to it because I'm not the biggest fan of the prequels, but I do think that Ewan McGregor was the one that like escaped those movies unscathed to me personally. Like I think he did well in them. He did what he could, and I am glad that he does get another chance to be the character. So that's the reason like I'm so open to the show. So please be good.
I'll say what I'll say like I guess more detailed thoughts about like what I had about the trailer. I said like I already said that I thought it was sick as hell. I think a lot of that comes from them just from the pure fact that they used Duel of the Fates or some variation of Duel of the Fates for the trailer. They definitely, you know, hook, line, and sinker me with that song. I was like, this is gonna be sick, without even seeing much more than him just flying his spacecraft at that point. I will say that it looks like they kind of showed that Obi Wan still is carrying on some kind of mission in the show, you know. So, I mean, that's already a lot more than what Boba Fett was doing, right? Like Boba Fett was kind of just like aimless. It seems like Obi Wan Kenobi has like some kind of mission or goal in this show. It's probably going to be like self-given. I think he's on like a personal mission because I obviously the Jedi Order is supposed to be pretty much ruined at this point.
Yep.
That, and I was just really excited to see Inquisitors. I haven't seen the Star Wars Rebel show. Lewis, you said that the Inquisitors started off in there, but I'm more familiar with the Fallen Order, where the main villains were the Inquisitors, or I forgot what the name of their organization or their group was called, like the Seven Sisters or something like that.
They go by like names by like sisters or brothers, but they're all Inquisitors.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I personally thought was cool about it, and like, you know, for Boba Fett being like so disappointing, they basically force choked me to come back with this trailer. Like, get back over here. You're watching. You're not gonna stop watching Star Wars. You're watching Obi Wan Kenobi whether you like it or not, and that's how I feel about it. I feel like I have absolutely no choice in the matter. I'm going to be watching the show.
I mean, for me, like, I can complain all I want, but if it's Star Wars, I'm gonna watch it because I'm gonna have to form my own opinion on it. I'm not just gonna hate on it because other people hate it. But yeah, I just want them to be good because I was pretty disappointed in Boba Fett.
How about you, Lewis? Anything to add, or what did you think about the trailer?
Yeah, the beginning part of it where you see Obi-Wan like along with the people of Tatooine in the sand. It seems like pretty normal that what you expect the Kenobi show would be.
Mm-hmm.
And then to start hearing the Duel of the Fates, was like, oh shit, something's going down.
Yes.
And then you start hearing the Inquisitor, Grand Inquisitor talk. Pretty much like the probably gonna be like the main villain or one of the main antagonists of the show, probably.
So
and,
I have a question, since I think you know more about this than I do for sure. I know a little bit about the Inquisitors, but is this a specific Inquisitor that's a character that we already know of, or are they creating a new character in this show?
He's for sure from Rebels. He's one of the main villains of was it first season, I think, maybe second season. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, he's definitely you may have met him from Clone War. No, yeah, the Clone War show. You may have met him there. You just don't know it, but it gets explained in the Rebel show.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know I obviously I'm gonna watch like a lot of episodes or a lot of shows and stuff, but Rebels is actually one of the ones on my list that I just haven't gotten to because I
watch Rebels before Kenobi.
I do like those animated Star Wars shows. Obi-Wan,
Good.
watch Rebels before Kenobi. That's a good. I think I will. I think this is going to be a good deadline for me to watch Rebels because I have been wanting to watch it, and so now I have something pushing me to actually watch it and finish it this time.
It's about time.
It's about time. I've already seen.
Yeah.
I think I've already seen too many spoilers on like TikTok and stuff, so I kind of know the big stuff that
It's so
happens.
good
But
though.
yeah, I still do want to watch it, and also from what I hear too, it sounds like I do need to watch it also before Ahsoka comes out, whenever that comes out, because
Oh, we're still a ways away from that, I think.
yeah,
The reason why Rebels.
yeah. How about you, Alvaro? Any thoughts?
I literally just watched the trailer before we started recording.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no real impressions to give other than I don't feel it gives me enough to really go on. Like I'll watch the show, but until then I can't really form an opinion.
Okay, that's fair, and I think that could be a little bit of the fault with Disney at fault because they're losing our trust over here. It's like Max always says, like Star Wars fans basically hate Star Wars.
That's what I was
I
going
mean,
to
I
title
did-
this episode.
Like I didn't watch Rebels or play Fallen Order, so I have no
Mhm.
idea who any of the characters are. So this will be my first foray into learning who, these antagonists could be.
You should play the game. It's good.
I like Fall.
I know
Yeah,
it's probably
Fall-
cheap too, but I
I-
haven't played it yet.
From what I hear, I think Fallen Order might be the only Souls-like game that I've played because people say that it's kind of like Souls, and it has a lot of
It
mechanics that I know are in Souls, but it was just it was a really fun game. I kind of like mastering the mechanics and stuff, but it didn't feel clunky. And when I look at Souls-like games, I get the impression that the controls are just really clunky, and like that's like their what do you say, their gimmick or their attraction, I guess. Like it's like their controls look really clunky and then people like it for some reason. So I don't understand it, but I like Fallen Order.
I disagree, but okay. I would say you play one first, but definitely I would not consider the controls clunky. It's all user based in my opinion.
Mhm.
If you suck, it's up to you. That's really that's all there is to it.
No, what I mean by clunky though, I'll explain it though, is that the attacks look slow, and I know they purposely make it so you can't cancel your own attacks, right? Which in other games like they make it so you can cancel your own attacks because it's frustrating to be stuck in like your own actions. And I know that's like the point of the game, but it's kind of like sacrificing game feel for like, I guess, more thoughtful fighting, which I know like that's like the point of the game, but it's like purposely making it so I don't know, it's like less fun to play in my opinion, like a counter example would be like I think like Assassin's Creed, you can like spam your buttons and stuff, but at any point you can pretty much just like press the dodge button and you can cancel your own attack animations to just like dodge, or like Spider-Man, or like I guess like there's a lot of other games too that do it. It's like a lot of other games that do it.
I was going to say, I feel like the majority of games you can do that.
Yeah, you can cancel your own animation, and I think that's kind of the catch of the Souls-like games. Like they purposely make it so you cannot do that. You can't cancel your own. Like attacks to do something defensive that you might need to save your life. So in my opinion, that's what makes it clunky. I know it's by design. I do know it's by design, but it's just it doesn't seem fun to me.
You just have to commit to the moves.
Yeah. Now that
If
I
you
think
fuck
about
up,
it,
that's on you.
I can't remember if Fallen Order did that. Now that I think about it, I don't know if you could.
I don't think so.
You couldn't cancel your own animation.
No, you could.
Oh, you could.
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, that was kind of like a bit of a tangent.
Segue.
Hey, that's what we're here for.
How did we get to this? How did we get to this topic?
Talk about Fallen Order.
You're talking about the Fallen Order game.
Oh yeah.
How
Good
it
game.
goes into the Obi-Wan show.
Yeah.
With
Actually,
Inquisitors.
yeah. Without saying a spoiler too, it seems like the story that Obi Wan Kenobi is hinting at is pretty much exactly what I think the story of Fallen Order is. It sounds like they're doing the same thing, but we'll see. we'll see. And I kind of don't want to say anything else about that because I'd be spoiling maybe both Obi Wan Kenobi and Fallen Order for people who haven't played that game.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can spoil Obi-Wan unless you have seen it already.
Well, I think.
Something
And
we
if you
don't.
have seen it, why haven't you told me?
Okay, so I'll just say it then. In Fallen Order, basically, the purpose of the game is you go and search for this. I forgot what they call it in the game. Was it like a codex or something like that?
Holocron.
Holocron, yeah. And basically, what the holocron has is a map to all Force-sensitive children or people, and that's what the Inquisitors in the game are going to use to find the leftover Jedi, or whoever can become a Jedi, can potentially become a Jedi. And that's basically the story of Fallen Order. And in the Obi Wan Kenobi trailer, they said something about the key to finding the Jedi or something like that. And it sounds like a lot like they're talking about a holocron that could like find Force sensitive people. So it sounds really similar. And in both cases, they're Inquisitors that are looking for it. So yeah.
Yeah, I also had that feeling on the show, like that it's just going to show how he for sure could make sure that he's hidden.
Yeah. Oh, like, yeah. You think he's saving his own ass then?
I think he's saving himself. Well, and Luke as well.
And, true. Very true. Yeah. That's his own personal.
Because that's why he's there to watch over Luke from a distance to make sure that Papa doesn't get to him.
Yep. It sounds very similar. And speaking of Fallen Order too, since we're kind of on the topic, I really do want Cal Kestis' character to make an appearance in the live action shows.
He'll be there eventually.
Yeah, he's got to be there. Which is why I kind of got excited during Boba Fett when they showed the BD-1 droid. I thought that was like kind of a hint that they're going to cross over at some point.
Well, I thought he was going to be the one to pop up at the end of Mandalorian.
Right.
Oh,
that was one of the people I thought.
Oh, yeah. I definitely thought that too, yeah.
Yeah, when Grogu was like on the rock, and they said that he pretty much like sent out a beacon to a Jedi.
Yeah.
Like they were being secretive about it, so part of me thought it might be him, just to try and get him into the story, but Luke.
Yeah. They're gonna
another eye roll for you audio only people. More eye rolls.
Yes, it's definitely a toxic relationship that we have with Star Wars.
Yeah, it is.
I got a quick idea. Does anyone want to say like any Star Wars hot takes that they have? Because I know that everyone's just like, I don't know, has like their opinions about certain movies, certain shows.
Do you really want to get people to stop listening to us after 3 episodes?
Maybe this could be we can weed out the super nerds. You'd be like, well, I can't believe these guys don't like the Star Wars episode 1.
Yeah.
But I'll go first. Like I personally, my favorite Star Wars movie, and considering like since the Disney takeover, and I think maybe overall too, I personally just like Rogue One, and I don't know if that's a hot take, but I know some people just like their original trilogy. Some people like the prequels, the sequels, or whatever. I really like Rogue One, and mainly because like I know how good the original trilogy actually is, and I think Rogue One was like probably the best example of kind of playing off of the original trilogy's back with making everything still really fresh and like everything really exciting still. And to me, I think that's, in my opinion, I had the best feeling watching that Rogue One movie than like any of the other Star Wars movies. So I don't know if that's a hot take, but that's something I feel strongly about.
Rogue One is good. Like I liked Rogue One because apart from the Darth Vader stuff, like it was all new material. Like it was filling in a gap in the story, but I thought it was a cool gap to fill in on how they acquired the plans to the Death Star and all that. Like it I also am a fan of heist movies, and it played very much like a heist movie. So I was a fan of Rogue One.
You know, I heard somewhere that Darth Vader scene at the end of that movie actually almost didn't happen. They kind of just threw it in at the end.
Yep. They had a reshoot.
Yeah.
They did a reshoot to put that in.
I wonder if I would have felt the same way about the movie if that didn't happen. I think overall, I think the movie would have been really good still. But with that Darth Vader scene, I just remember leaving the theater like, holy shit.
It's only like 2 minutes of a over 2 hour movie, man.
Yeah, I know. I think, but I think it really just affected my theater watching experience when I watched that movie. Because I remember watching, like, leaving the movie like, holy shit. Like, even though I knew I already liked the movie.
Yeah, because, like, I thought the Darth Vader thing is cool to watch, but if you watch it where it plays in the story, like if you go from Rogue One to New Hope, he turns into old man fighting really quick.
Yeah, very true.
And
we kind of just hand wave over those situations.
Yeah.
Like, let's not forget how people age.
No, but I think that's the danger of trying to tie everything in so close, is that some stuff's not going to look right if you watch it, like, if you binge watch the whole thing.
Yeah. The only reason it works with Ahsoka is because, like, she's technically not human, so she's like a race that could just not age as fast as humans, right? So,
yeah. Like,
I remember, like, thinking about that briefly. I was like, wait, Ahsoka's, like, pretty old at this point, but she's not human, so. I mean, anyone else want to stick their necks on the chopping block?
I have a hot take.
You have a hot take?
Yeah. I say prequels deserve a lot, like, more credit than they deserve. It's I think a lot of because a lot of my favorite characters come from that era, usually from like the Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith. Like, I think Revenge of the Sith is one of my favorite Star Wars movies, like top 3 for sure.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Yeah. What's wrong?
No, nothing.
See, I mean, like, this is a safe space here.
Yeah, this is a safe space.
This is a safe space.
No judgment.
But you're wrong.
No judgment here.
I do think that Revenge of the Sith is one of the darkest Star Wars movies ever. Like the
second half, yeah.
Second half, yeah. Yeah, that's true. The second half part, especially with Anakin becoming Darth Vader and the actions he does.
The younglings?
Actions lead to, younglings.
Oh no, the younglings.
Padme, the fight between Obi Wan and him, and then his downfall, the high ground.
Yeah. This will be kind of nerdy, but I do think their fight at the end of that movie, along with that song that plays during their fight at the end of that movie, are very underrated in the Star Wars canon.
Oh yeah,
they are.
That is for sure. That's 100% agree with that. I think I'm not sure if I'm misspeaking here, but I think that scene, or just that movie in general, I guess mostly because of that scene at the end where they're fighting, what you're talking about, Max.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be like the most emotion that has been in the Star Wars movies, at least.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like other times in the Star Wars movies that were emotional like that, but I think that might be the most emotional scene, and that's probably why it hit so hard. It was one of the probably one of the best scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah, if the prequels were like that the whole time, I'd be a fan.
I mean, they tried, right? They tried to have the emotional connection between.
No, like I don't hate Phantom Menace. I find good stuff in that movie, and I do like the second half of Revenge of the Sith, but I will just say I'm not a fan of Attack of the Clones.
The middle?
I think it's awful. Except for Ewan McGregor.
Oh, yes, for sure. That's why he's getting his own show.
That's why he gets his own show, yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Alvaro? Have any hot takes with the Star Wars universe?
Yeah. The Last Jedi is the best one. I know it's controversial to say that on the internet, but
that might be the hottest take here. But tell me
you remember 7 or 8 or 9, because I don't. At least The Last Jedi was memorable.
True. Yeah.
And that just as a film.
Wait to partially take my hot take.
No, I think as a movie, I think Last Jedi was probably it was definitely the best of the
The newer one.
trilogy,
The sequel series?
The sequel series. And I say that with an asterisk, too, because the Force Awakens, the first sequel movie, I thought was good, but I give it so many like negative grades for being unoriginal, right? Because it kind of basically tried to remake the first, like A New Hope, basically. So it gets like so many points taken off in my books for that, and so considering that, I thought Last Jedi was, really good in my opinion. It's hard. That might be the hottest take though, because I do have a hard time explaining that to people.
Yeah. My hot take is not that hot.
Yeah.
No, mine is. I think The Last Jedi is the third best Star Wars movie. I think it's better than Return of the Jedi. But Alvaro had to top it by saying it's the best one.
Better than Return of the Jedi. Okay.
And as for Force Awakens, I don't hold that against them because I feel like they had to do that with Force Awakens. Like, I feel like you have to show the older crowd to remind them why they love Star Wars in the first place, all while trying to bring in new characters to get the youngsters involved and to get them into the movie. So I don't hold them it being unoriginal against it. I like that movie. I think it's a very fun movie.
So
but it's safe, and I don't like safe.
Oh my.
Even though it's most of Star Wars.
Yeah, but
I was thinking about like all this nostalgia bait they're putting on Disney.
I know. Talk about like never getting past the original trilogy, right? Like all of Star Wars is played it so safe.
Hey, Rian Johnson tried, but the fans were not having it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, does anyone have any other closing thoughts about the Star Wars stuff? Because if not, I think we can close this out. This was supposed to be a short podcast episode. What do you guys think? Did we nail it this time?
I think so.
I think
we're gonna. Well, if anyone listens to this, then we're probably gonna get some comments about Last Jedi. But I defend it all the time, and I have since it's come out, so nothing new for me.
Hey, in the words of Eazy-E, no publicity is bad publicity. Okay. This is how we're gonna stir up the audience.
A better Star Wars movie than Rise of Skywalker was straight out of Compton.
Yeah, I think we nailed it. Considering, like, knowing us, I know we can talk about Star Wars forever. So.
Oh yeah, this could be the first hour of 5 hours, and I would probably still be sitting here.
Yeah, this is not bait at all. But if anyone would have mentioned the Rise of Skywalker, like I would have ranted on longer than I intended to.
I mean, go for it, man.
No, I cannot do that. But okay, so yeah, that was our show for today, folks. I hope you liked it. This was a very short episode for us this week, because, like I said in the beginning, this is a busy week for us. So this is a little bite-sized episode that we have for you regarding the Obi Wan Kenobi trailer and Star Wars in general. One of our favorite topics. So catch us next time online when what are we gonna do next time? Are we gonna go into detail about the Darksaber and having more character development, or then
I think next time online, Alvaro will give us a list of characters that the Darksaber has more development than.
that's there we go. You don't want to miss that, folks.
No, you don't.
Yeah. All right. Catch us next time. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.